Hey friends, Jeremy Knight here, St. Paul's United Methodist Church with your weekly update. First, we had an incredible weekend last weekend with Back to School Sunday. Just want to say thank you to all those who worked behind the scenes and out front to make that a wonderful event with lots of folks here, and we're so blessed by your presence and pray that you'll continue to journey with us in this season as we seek to live and do our calling to be disciples of Jesus Christ. A couple things just to remind you of. Our everyday offering for the month of August is going to go towards helping feed particular children in our community through the efforts of Interfaith Emergency Services. And so they've asked us, since we have a back to school theme, if we would collect some child friendly foods. Some that they suggested are peanut butter and jelly, macaroni and cheese, and snack size things that children can have access to pretty quickly. And that would be a great help to them in the coming season. So thank you for participating in that everyday offering. If you want to bring those items in, you can drop them off near the donation center here at St. Paul's. Also want to remind you that one of our mission partners, the Fostering Foundation, is having a very important meeting Monday evening. And it's just an information night. It's a night where anyone that wants to know, A, about the work of the Fostering Foundation, or B, how they can plug in different ways, that they would come. It's at 6:30 p.m. That's on their campus. They would love to know if you're coming. If you would reach out to me, respond to this email, or drop a comment on this Facebook post, wherever you're finding us, and I will be in contact with you to give you the email to RSVP and the address. That's Monday evening, 6:30 at the Fostering Foundation offices. And so I look forward to some of you getting to know more about this wonderful organization that we're partnered with here in the Ocala area. Also, before we talk a little bit about worship, September is going to be a big month for us because we're really going to be focused on some things that really, I believe, have the potential to help us engage even deeper in our own spiritual formation. You got an email from me earlier this week about this particular campaign, this particular focus or theme that really is going to invite us to reacquaint for some of us, or maybe for others of us, embrace for the first time what it means to be better rooted, better connected to our Wesleyan heritage. And when I mean Wesleyan heritage, you can watch the video I sent for a little bit more clarification, but here's what I mean by that. We, as Methodist people experiencing life in a United Methodist Church, we are an expression of the Wesleyan tradition of faith. This is a reform movement that began many moons ago out of the Church of England, primarily led by John Wesley, his brother Charles, and other early Methodists. And so this reform movement kind of launched out of the Anglican or the Church of England. And we have particular perspectives about how we think about grace and how we think about the role of people in the world and what our mission is called to be and what is the things that really undergird our faith. And so these things aren't very radical things, they're actually very beautiful things, but reconnecting to those things can be a really empowering thing for us in our faith. We're going to be doing that all through the month of September. But specifically, we're asking all of our adults to consider being a part of a 5-week small group experience. It's only going to meet for 5 weeks, 5 meetings. And in these meetings, we're going to talk about these particular concepts that we're going to be discussing in worship around our Wesleyan heritage. How can we be better rooted in our Wesleyan heritage? I pray that you would consider that. In the email I sent you, there's a registration link. If you have questions about that, please reach out to me. So this week in worship, we're going to continue our back to school theme. We've talked a little bit about packing our lunch. We've talked a little bit about some other things about staying awake, what it means to engage in a school of life and be aware of others. We talked about that this past Sunday. Well, we have another invitation that going back to school reminds us of, and it's about dressing for success or wearing what we're supposed to wear, following the dress code. There's many different ways to say it. And it's a beautiful opportunity to revisit a particular scripture that many of us may have heard, commonly referred to as the armor of God, Ephesians chapter 6. Paul writes to the early church in Ephesus. He invites them to put on the armor of God, and he talks about some of these items, and the go is belt and breastplate and helmet, shoes and other things. And these are all symbols, right? But raising that question of what does it mean for us to dress the part, to engage in our lives in such a way that we think about what we put on and what we show to the world and those things and how that intertwines. And so it's a beautiful passage. It raises lots of questions for us, and I pray that you would come as we dive into it together this Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. You're welcome to join us here in person. I pray that you do. If you can't, if you're out of town or you miss us, please check us out online, 10:30 a.m., both on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. All right? Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I pray you all are well. I can't wait to see you soon.